What is going on, everybody? Welcome to this very brand new thing called The Dorks Next Door, where we are live on both YouTube and on Twitter. So we are finally out there in both places. We're looking forward to being a part of both programs and on both platforms. So if you're new to us, go ahead and hit that subscribe button on YouTube. Go ahead and hit that follow button on Twitter, and we'll give you all of our other plugs towards the end of the video. But if you don't know who we are, my name is Andy York. And this is my good friend, the one and only Jason Lee. Jason, how are you doing today?
Pretty good.
Pretty good. Life treating you all right today?
Yeah, for the most part. I've got a lot to be excited about today. So
Good. Well, there's a lot we're going to discuss a little tidbits and things like that. But the main thing we're going to talk about today, we're going to be discussing the final Rise of Skywalker trailer that came out during Monday Night Football of last week. So we are going to get into all of that, discuss all that. We want to hear your thoughts on it as well. If you are looking forward to the movie now, if you aren't looking forward to the movie, thoughts on the trailer itself, things like that. We're going to get into all of that towards the end. But before we do any of that, we like to always start our podcast off by talking about what we're into this week. And since this is our first time on Twitter and on YouTube at the same time, we're going to start by doing that again. So Jason, what are you into this week?
So I've been talking about for like the past 3 weeks.
Like the month.
Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Yes.
I've never watched an anime before. This is the first one. I'm absolutely loving it. I'm completely obsessed with it. I'm almost done with it. I'm on part 5. I'm like halfway through.
Yeah.
But it's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah. It's on my list to watch. I need to get down and watch it.
Yeah.
It's one of those that it looks really, really, really good, so I need to bust down and get it.
I cannot stop talking about it with people.
Yeah, it looks really, really
it's
good.
just the best.
It looks really, really good. We had our good friend Xander the Commander Targaryen. That's his full name, I think. But we had him on a couple weeks ago.
Full legal name.
Full legal name. That is his legal name, yes.
Yeah.
But we had him on a couple weeks ago, and we were talking about a lot of different anime things, like different anime shows and things like that. So we're gonna have to have him on. Oh yeah, he's definitely a pro.
He's really into it.
He's definitely a pro on it. So we need to get him back on and talk about just strictly anime stuff. I think that would be a lot of fun.
Yes.
To do. So because I know nothing.
No, me neither.
I know absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
So that'll be fun. We have a comment. Double stream, Twitter and YouTube. Yes, we are branching out, baby boy. Nico, we are branching out. We are trying new things today, so we're going to see how well this works out. So let us know if you like on both or if you just went on the one. It kind of helps us out a little bit, gauge our audience, things like that. So
I'm watching it on both.
Yeah, I am too. Get the dual screen experience.
Yes.
Get the double podcast on the same thing. It's a great idea. It's like March Madness for our basketball geeks out there like I am. It's like March Madness where I've got a game on my TV, a game on my computer, a game on my phone, and a game on my tablet all at the same time. There's like 4 games going on at one time for the tournament. So I'm just like glued to it. And then I realized I'm 22 and I'm doing this with my life.
That's what I'm going to do. You know what's even worse? That's what I'm going to do to binge the rest of the Marvel content I haven't seen. Is I'm going to have Agent Carter on one screen, Inhumans on another screen, Cloak and Dagger on one screen, and Runaways on another screen.
Yeah, I would do Inhumans on the smallest screen that you're not going to pay attention to.
Right, I'll do Inhumans on my phone.
Yeah, there you go. That's a good plan.
And that's how I'll catch up on all 4 of those shows.
I like it. Pod Madness. That's what we're going to call it from now on. Is a Pod Madness instead of March Madness. Pod Madness.
We'll have to stream on 6 different platforms.
We can do it. I think, except Facebook, because Facebook's like, ooh, no, we only want you to stream on us. No one else.
That's okay. We don't need to stream on Facebook. Yeah.
Anyways, what I'm into this week is I'm not catching up, but I'm rewatching all of Rick and Morty again to catch back up for season 4 when it comes out. So I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be so good. Season 4 is, I'm really looking forward to all of that. So it's going to be a great time to do it. It's going to be a great time kind of catching up. Did you see Chris Evans' tweet?
No.
About Rick and Morty season 4?
Oh, yes, actually.
Yeah, and Nico's the one that retweeted and said, celebrities really are just like us.
Yeah.
So it really works out really well to do it. Agent Carter is good. I've seen all of Inhumans. Don't do it. I think Inhumans is one of those that you would get a pass on for not watching.
No passes.
No passes?
No passes. I'm going for my PhD. There are no passes on the road to a PhD.
Is this really a PhD-worthy show, though?
Yes.
Is it?
Yes. Because knowledge is power, and I have to know.
That's true. Okay. That's a fair point. Fair point. Even though it's Inhumans, but we'll get to
I mean,
that.
I just came up with that on the fly, but I'm glad you think so.
That's going to be your new slogan. Jason, 2019.
I just came up with that on the fly, but I'm glad you think so. That's my quote.
That's your quote?
Yeah.
Is that your yearbook quote?
Yeah. Yeah. All of this was improvised. It was.
It was.
All of high school
It really
was entirely improvised.
It really was. Since we went to the same high school, we really need to do a podcast on our high school.
High school experiences, that would actually be a lot of fun.
It would be.
I'd have to kind of sit and think and talk with people and remember stuff and like write it down because I'm not good at improvising and coming up with things on the fly.
But we could get some of our high school friends in to join us as well. That'd be
we
a lot
totally
of fun.
could.
That'd be a lot of fun to do that. But enough of this boring chit chat stuff. We are going to jump right into some of the main topics we're going to talk about today. And mainly we're going to focus on DC and Star Wars. We're going to talk about the Batman casting because, ooh, baby, this movie is looking better and better by the week. They're coming out with a lot of new casting and a lot of new production stuff and things like that. So we're going to jump into all of that. This movie comes out in 2021, I believe so.
Which one?
Matt Reeves' Batman.
Yes.
It comes out in 2021. And so it looks like, obviously, Robert Pattinson is going to be playing the masked vigilante himself, Batman, which, if you are new to our podcast, me and Jason are, we love that.
Yes.
We like that.
Very
Thumbs up for us for that. Obviously, Jeffrey Wright is also going to be playing Commissioner Gordon, which is a big plus for us.
Mm-hmm.
He is fantastic in Westworld.
Mm-hmm.
He's like my favorite part of that show because season 1 was really good. If you've seen it, season 2 kind of drops off a little bit, but he was the best part of it. So he's definitely saved that season for sure. And he also is going to play the Watcher in What If.
Yeah.
So that's really, really cool.
The voice of.
Yeah. That's really cool that he will be a part of that as well. And then, let me see if I can get this. Zoe Kravitz.
Mm-hmm.
Got it right. Zoe Kravitz is going to be playing Catwoman in this movie as well, which Robert Pattinson has been on record this week to say he is a big fan of hers. So they're going to work really, really well together. That'd be really cool to see them work together. But this week, we've also had some breaking news about another casting for that, and then they've hired a composer for the movie that is very, very exciting. I've blanked on his name now.
Paul Dano.
Paul Dano. Yeah, Paul Dano is going to be playing the Riddler in this movie. Yes. He has also played in Swiss Army Man, which you've talked about as being a
very
hilarious
funny
movie.
Yeah.
So he's looking forward to that. He's playing the Riddler, so it's a really, really good fit. There's a lot of rumors that Jonah Hill would be playing this character, but obviously he's kind of backed out from that casting decision or from that roles from the Batman movie altogether. So he's no longer going to be a part of that. But Paul Dano is a very big hit for them. He looks kind of like the Riddler too.
He does, yeah. And his role in Swiss Army Man is not really anything like he would be doing as the Riddler, but I can absolutely see it after seeing him in that movie.
Right.
I could definitely see that.
Yeah.
And then what I'm most excited about, probably the news that I'm most excited about this movie in general, is the composer that they hired.
Yes, go ahead. You say his name this time. Because listen, I butchered his name on the podcast. So go ahead, guys, get the video ready.
One moment.
Do you have it up still?
No.
Oh, Jason.
I've now closed out of this tab twice.
And we've needed it twice. So.
Okay, here we go.
Michael Giacchino.
Nope, that's what I thought it was. Uh-oh. We almost got a little bit of podcastception there. One second. Okay.
We've already got a dual podcast. That'd be a tripod.
Here we go.
Hi there, I'm Michael Giacchino.
Giacchino.
Is that what I said?
Yes.
No, I said Giacchino.
Yeah,
Giacchino.
You
Michael
said it
Giacchino.
the way I said it.
Right. Anyways, Michael Giacchino will be composing this movie. He also did the Star Trek trilogy, the most recent Star Trek movies.
Yes.
He did the Planet of the Apes movies. He's also done Spider-Man: Homecoming. He did Jurassic World. He's done a lot of big budget movies before.
He did my favorite film soundtrack of all time, Incredibles.
Yes. He did that, and Doctor
Up.
Strange and Up. So he's got a lot of track record
very
with
prolific.
So it's very exciting to see him being a part of that and kind of coming back from that as well. So it's really cool to see him.
Kind of reminds me of Danny Elfman when they got Danny Elfman to do the Tim Burton Batman movies.
He also
because he's also been very prolific as well. He also did Spider-Man. He did Sam Raimi Spider-Man.
Hans Zimmer did the Dark Knight trilogy, right?
Yeah, and that's it.
Fantastic.
Like my three like pillar soundtracks, Incredibles, like original Star Wars trilogy, well, all of Star Wars kind of.
Yeah.
and The Dark Knight.
Yes, it's so good. It's such a good soundtrack.
Yeah.
But it's really exciting. This movie, we've talked about this several times, but this movie is getting more and more exciting, and we've still got like a year and a half or 2 years before it comes out.
Mm-hmm.
So like, there's a lot of other stuff that's going to come out about it. We haven't seen a second of this movie. We haven't even seen on-set stuff about this movie. It's just literally been casting, and it's been a big hit. Like, it's been a massive hit. They've slowly built like an all-star team for this movie, which is very exciting. Really, really cool to see about that as well. So the more that comes out on this, the more we're going to discuss it and talk about it and things like that. We're going to dive deeper into it as it comes out. But the main thing we're going to discuss today, the main thing we're going to talk about is the Rise of Skywalker trailer that came out during Monday Night Football. Before the trailer came out, before this trailer came out, where was your excitement for this movie? Were you looking forward to it, or was it kind of on the lower end of things?
It was still my most anticipated movie of this year. At this point right now, like before Endgame, it was Endgame, but for now it's Rise of Skywalker, and ever since Endgame, it has been Rise of Skywalker. Obviously, I mean, I think that's the same way for most people who are kind of into the same stuff that we're into, which is clearly almost everybody, because these movies make a ton of money. But no, I've always been really, really excited for this movie, but this trailer like doubled my excitement.
Yeah.
We saw so much new stuff in here, and all these things that we saw, great callbacks, fascinating environments, incredible visuals. That's the number one thing that I can't get over, is the visuals and the soundtrack are the two things that I'm most excited about, even more than the story, the story that they're about to tell, which I'm excited for. I'm very excited for. The visuals and the soundtrack have got me
hooked.
So excited.
Yeah, no, it looked...
And we got to see more of those in this trailer.
We did. I think my excitement level was at the same of after Endgame, this movie has become my most anticipated movie of the year to see. So it's very exciting. I was very excited to see it beforehand. This movie just amped that up even more, really. Yeah. So we're not going to go shot by shot like we normally do. Instead, we've got like somewhat of notes that we're going to talk through. We're only going to talk about the highlighted, the key parts of this. But if you're in the chat with us on either Twitter or on our YouTube channel, put in the comments or put in the comment section that like what you thought of the trailer, what you're looking forward to the most about this. Give us some of your predictions and your thoughts on what you expect to happen during this movie as well. And
just kind of like the shots and the moments that stuck out to you.
Yeah.
From the trailer as well, because we'll just kind of hit on the moments that stuck out to us as well.
We're just going to hit the highlighted portions of these and then move on. If I can get my notes to pop up. There they are.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically it opens up with Rey running through a forest planet that you believe could be Endor. Correct? And we see different shots of like a rebel helmet comes flying out of nowhere, kind of scares you a little bit at the beginning, and then you got like a training droid and things like that. And it looks like she is near the second Death Star, which crashed on Endor. So it would make sense that this opening spot, or like this spot right here, would be on the planet Endor.
Yes. And if we're on Endor, then we could definitely see an Ewok, which would be so cool.
Make the movie even better. Like, it would just make my movie fun.
That would be a really cool callback.
It would be.
And a lot of people in the audience would be like, oh my gosh, it's an Ewok.
Yeah.
Like me, I would be like that.
Yes. Let's see here. Then there's like a transition shot of like Rey jumping from like a cannon, like a part of the cannon to another part of the cannon. And it kind of transitions into her jumping. It looks like she's inside the Death Star. So she's jumping from that thing, from one into the other. There's a lot of like wreckage on this planet that she's on that we see more than just one shot, or like either it's the same planet or two different planets where there's a lot of wreckage.
Yes.
A lot of wreckage.
That looks like it's from the battle for the second Death Star.
Yes.
In Return of the Jedi. And there are parts of that wreckage that look like the Death Star.
Yeah.
But there's also parts that are look more like Star Destroyers as well.
Yeah, it's kind of like a mix of both. Really, you can't really tell either, which is which.
Yeah.
So we see, let's see, there's like a Resistance meeting room with Lando and Poe meeting. You also have the return of the beloved character Rose, which we're not going to discuss right now. If you want to hear our thoughts on that, go listen to the podcast part. I'll put a link in the description when it comes out. But go listen to that. You see some new faces. One old face and then a new face. And Billy Lord and you say the other guy's name because I butchered it on the podcast as well.
Dominic Monaghan, who was in Lost
and Lord of the Rings.
He was Merry the Hobbit from Lord of the Rings as well.
So they'll be a part of this as well. You also have a theory about the big ship that goes flying over the forest.
I do, yes. It looks an awful lot like the Tantive 4, which is the shot that New Hope opens on, where they're being attacked by a Star Destroyer, and Princess Leia's on there with the Death Star plans, and Darth Vader comes in and is fighting all the rebels and stuff. Also at the end of Rogue One, of course. So if that is the actual Tantive 4, if I'm remembering correctly, it didn't get destroyed. I could look like a complete idiot here if it got destroyed. I don't think it did, and if it's the original, that would be an awesome callback.
That would be really cool.
But it could just be a similar model of ship.
Yeah.
So
one comment we have that is kind of relevant to what we're talking about, so I'll let you answer on here, even though you answered it in the comments. Is Endor / the Forest Moon of Endor the Star Wars version of Frankenstein's monster?
Yes, I'm sure there are a lot of things like that.
Yeah,
in Star Wars, I think.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think of another one. It's like we call this person or this location a certain thing when it's actually technically a different thing.
Yeah.
So,
let's see here where we at. Okay, so after that shot, we see wreckage in the ocean again of what could be a Death Star, Death Destroyer, something like that, and then we see basically the beginning of, or gearing up for the beginning of the scene that I'm probably looking forward to the most. And I think you are too. Of the big fight scene between Rey and Kylo on the. It's either on the wreckage itself or like a fortress type wall thing.
right.
But anyways, there's like crashing water all around them, like water everywhere. This massive fight scene, you see Rey, and then it kind of pans over, and there's like a wall of just water, and then you see like a red tent starting to like come closer and closer and closer, and then you see Kylo just walk out and looks like $1,000,000. Like he looks fantastic as well. So this fight is really going to be something really special to watch and really, really cool to see. Do you expect this scene to take place earlier on in the film or towards the end?
I'm going to actually say early on because it looks like there's a lot of things happening, and this is going to be a long movie. This is going to be 2.5 hours long. I would say early on because there are also other scenes of Rey and Kylo where they're not fighting, and right now they're in a place where they would fight and they would start out fighting. So I'm wondering how quickly it is that they turn that around. You know, maybe they are fighting in the end. I don't know. It could be something that happens at the end, but I would expect it to be more something that happens in the beginning. Yeah. And maybe they're both, you know, maybe she goes to the second Death Star to look for something and he intercepts her there, and then they fight, you know, because later on in the trailer you can see that Finn is also on the same wreckage, you know, over this raging sea. So I don't know. It could just be kind of a mission. And by early on, I mean kind of like first half of the movie.
Yeah. Halfway through like the second half.
But it's also something that they've revealed to us.
Right.
And of course, they would kind of want to save stuff that happens in the end more than they would want to save stuff from the beginning.
Right, exactly.
So.
Exactly. And then we kind of get like maybe a tease at what he really knows about Rey's past, because she says no one knows her. And then Kylo says he does. And then that could hint towards either he was lying about who her parents were, or he was just lying about who she was in general, things like that.
Yeah, or he just knows more, you know, than he let on. So. Yeah.
And then we move on to, let's see here. There are TIE fighters flying towards this glacier looking, it's either like a planet or something. We literally stopped the trailer just like a few hours ago when we were looking at it before we recorded the podcast and before we went live. We literally stopped the video and we're looking at this thing for like 5 minutes, trying to figure out what it was.
Yeah.
Because like it obviously is like an ice glacier-esque thing. Mm-hmm. But we couldn't tell if it was a reflection of like water was just like the bottom half was just a reflection, or if it's just like this weird concoction thing.
Yeah.
We have no idea what it is.
Or if it's just kind of like floating.
Yeah, but it looked amazing. It looks absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it looks cool, whatever it is.
And then we get a shot of Palpatine's throne, which obviously gives some very Game of Thrones-esque vibes to it on the shot. It looked really cool.
It did.
It looked really, really cool to see that. and as that continued forward. Let's see. Palpatine goes on to say, "Long have I waited, now you have come together," which immediately transitions into a shot of the Millennium Falcon with, I believe it was Chewie, Lando, Poe, and Finn. I think those are the 4 in it. I may be wrong about that, but I think those were 4.
And C-3PO.
Yeah, so 5. Maybe it's been 4. I don't know. Anyways, it was some combination like that. But you see them all together as he is saying that. You see a Star Destroyer rising from the ground. It either is coming from like the ground, underwater, under ice. It doesn't really matter. It looks absolutely amazing with lightning flashing.
Yeah,
around, which seems to be a key theme from this movie.
Yeah,
of lightning crashing.
There's a lot.
Around.
There's going to be a lot happening under cloud cover with lightning. Yep. And tons of Star Destroyers.
Because it was the first trailer that showed all the Star Destroyers and the lightning. Was it the first trailer or the second trailer? You know what I'm talking about?
I think it was the first one.
Yeah, because I remember that was the scene that we talked about, like one of the most, because
like,
it just looked absolutely amazing of
the
lightning hitting and everything around it. You get to see. I'm going to let you talk about this one as well, because the Millennium Falcon then leads a resistant fleet, but there's a nice little callback. There's more than one, but the one that's the most notable.
Right, yeah. So it was pointed out to me that one of the ships, like kind of in this fleet, is the Ghost from the show Rebels.
Yes.
Which I have yet to watch, but I do recognize that ship, and I was like, that does look an awful lot like it. And there's another kind of callback in this trailer as well, which I expect there to be a lot in this movie, apart from the Tantive 4, apart from the Ghost, which is in the background when they're working on C-3PO, whatever they're doing, you can see a battle droid.
Yeah. Like
a literal prequels battle droid in the background of the shot, and it's like, that is really weird.
Yeah.
But I'm okay with it.
Right. Right.
So, I mean, they would still be around.
Yes.
Yeah,
they would. We move on to the part of the trailer that may or may not have made me choke up a little bit and almost cry. But it was a droid mechanic working on C-3PO, and they ask him what is he doing. He says, just taking one last look at my friends. And it was just like a really sad moment of like, oh no, this is not going to end well for him.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with him.
Yeah. I really hope they don't kill him off.
Yeah.
I really hope they don't. I have a feeling.
I mean, this is the end of the saga.
Right. But still, I would still
not like I want him to die, but it's also like this is the end of the saga.
Right, exactly.
And he's been in every movie. Him and R2 have been in every movie so far, all 9 of them.
Nico put in the comments up here, C-3PO's line hit me way harder than it should have. That's very true. That is very true that it did.
And it's true for us too.
Yeah.
Because we're taking our one last look
at our friends,
at these friends that we have built up.
Notice Rose was not in the shot.
So
then we get like a nice little callback to Daredevil. Probably not, but it was still really cool. You see heroes fighting in the hallway. They're kind of running and just shooting stormtroopers left and right, and it was just a very
looks awesome.
It looks awesome. We talked about this on the podcast as well, but it reminded me of the scene when Han was running around the corner and he sees all the stormtroopers, and then he comes flying back around the corner just screaming as he's running through. It reminded me just of that.
Yeah.
Just like that. Looked just like that. So that was really cool. You get a nice little callback of Lando flying with Chewie. Rip.
Yeah.
Han's not there anymore.
That's going to be awesome. Whatever Lando's doing, it's going to be awesome.
My favorite shot of the trailer, and hopefully probably will be one of my favorite shots of the entire movie, they are riding horses.
Space
horses. Yes. Fantastic.
Yes. And it looks like they're riding space horses on top of a Star Destroyer in the middle of a giant space battle. So that's so cool.
It's the coolest thing in the world.
You're giving Finn something interesting to do. Yep. No, I'm just kidding. But, I mean, yes, it is true.
But it's still really cool that they they are putting in horses in freaking Star Wars.
Yeah.
John Wick 3 had him riding a horse downtown. That was really that was one of my favorite moments of that movie. This is like, oh, they're all riding horses. This is great. This is just fantastic. Why not at this point? You've done everything else. Why not ride a horse? They also have these little tusk things. So they're not obviously horses, but still they're really, really cool.
Yeah.
To see that. Let's see here. We also see Rey and Kylo in the throne room wreckage.
Yes.
From where Darth Vader fought Luke and then obviously killed Palpatine as well. So you will be back there as well. Nice little callback to that. And then the shot you talked about earlier when Finn was also on the wreckage with Kylo and Rey as they were fighting. You see Finn come running out of the water, and it looks like he's screaming for Rey to either run away or come help or something like that.
Well, it sounded like like excited or something.
Yeah.
Sounded like he was happy about something. So.
Ooh, she killed Kylo.
Yeah, she just. Movie's over.
And then one of my the most intriguing shots to me is Rey and Kylo destroying a statue. It looks like in an all white location. You can't really tell what the statue is. It may be like a replica or a tribute to Darth Vader. It may just be some random statue, or it may only get significance during the film itself, something like that. But you can't really tell if they're working together or if they're fighting. Obviously, Kylo has his helmet on, and it looks like they kind of inadvertently destroyed it as they were fighting.
Mm-hmm.
So it may mean absolutely nothing, and we're just looking way too much into this because that's what we nerds do. But
well,
it's always
front
fun.
And center in the shot.
It is.
So
it looks a little too deliberate not to mean something.
Yeah.
So, but it's still really, really interesting and cool to see that. And then what will probably be in the third act for sure, you see this massive, epic space battle.
Oh my gosh!
With Star Destroyers, X-Wings, B-Wings, Y-Wings, Bliss and Finn, and all of them are riding on their horses through here. It's like the craziest acid trip Western movie of all time.
It's the kind of thing that you can do with Star Wars in 2019.
Yes, and get away with it, yeah.
Yes. They were making huge technological advancements back in the 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
With the original trilogy. Same thing. I mean, the prequels, something that I can absolutely give them is the technological advancements that they were able to give those movies. Holy crap, they look, they hold up today.
Right.
So much of the, so much of the CGI, so much of the visual effects that they used in those movies hold up. And it's astonishing what they were able to do. And it's absolutely breathtaking being able to see those things in the theater, being able to see whatever the space battle is in the theater with A-Wings, B-Wings, X-Wings, Y-Wings, Star Destroyers, Rebel Fleet, Millennium Falcon, all flying around
yeah.
I can't wait. It looks incredible. And then also something that we talked about earlier is we've got all these shots of these Star Destroyers kind of under cloud cover, under this storm with lightning coming down. We've got things happening like Rey jumped over that ship in the first trailer in a desert. We've got her running around on what could be Endor or whatever it is. It's a jungle planet or a jungle moon. And then we've got them fighting on the wreckage over this raging sea. We've got all of these different locations, which I think is going to be really interesting.
Yeah.
It's going to be really cool.
And then we come to a shot of Rey standing in front of Palpatine.
Yeah, that's the guy.
That's the guy. Whatever his name, Palpatine.
Yeah.
I had a stroke for a second. I'm so sorry. No, but she's standing in front of him as he's doing his signature laugh and cackle and things like that. So that'll be really interesting to see that. And then the final two lines that we hear in the movie are from Luke and Leia. The final two lines we hear in the trailer is from Luke and Leia, where Luke says they both say the Force will be with you always. And it's a nice shot of Rey standing there with her lightsaber, kind of closing her eyes and just kind of taking in the moment, which is really cool. So with all of that being said, with all this trailer, everything we talked about, it looks absolutely amazing.
Yes.
It looks absolutely amazing. And I cannot wait for this movie.
Yeah.
Let us know in the comments as we continue to talk about this, but let us know in the comments what you are looking forward to the most, or if you are excited for this movie, kind of before, what was your thoughts on the movie, and then after the trailer came out, if that, made it happy, if you made it closer, you happier about this movie. I think that's the word I'm trying to say. If you were looking forward to it more after the trailer or not, let us know in the comments down below or in the chat as well. And we'll get to those as they come through. But overall, this is very exciting.
Yeah,
this is very exciting. Obviously, everything we've seen from the other trailers and from the poster itself, the posters of this movie even look amazing.
They've been really good.
And so they've marketed this movie to where they don't really, even in this, they haven't really shown us a whole lot. They've shown us a lot more, but it's not they're not showing their entire hand.
Yeah.
Which is very exciting. That's one of the coolest parts of, that was one of the coolest parts of Endgame was, they didn't show their entire hand, so, it was still very exciting to see what we're going to get. Here, it's, the same exact thing of, they show you enough to get, butts and seats, but they're just wait till you get there. Just wait till you get there and see what else we have for you.
They've showed a lot of exciting stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of exciting stuff. Clearly, the fight over the sea is the thing that I'm most excited about. epic space battle. Super excited about. Palpatine is going to bring people back in.
Yep.
You know, hearing Luke and Leia, that's going to bring people back in. The
Space
music,
horses.
the godlike music, is going to bring people back in.
Space horses.
Yeah, what's happening to C-3PO? You know,
he's gonna die.
A big question.
That is a big question. There's a big question for a lot of our characters, a lot of our main characters, to see where they end up. What's the relationship like between Rey and Kylo? Like, what's going to happen there?
Yeah.
What's going to happen with Finn? You know, and his role and everything. What
is something going to happen with Finn?
Is something going to happen with Finn for once? Is Poe going to be able to, you know, live up to what he needs to do and things like that?
Yes.
So there's a lot of stuff that still has to be answered in this movie, and there's still a lot of things that we are looking forward to. And as the weeks come closer, we are very excited. Plus, we've got The Mandalorian in 2 weeks now, which is so exciting that we're going to get to those. You get to watch those very, very soon. Okay, so we have 2 comments. One from Nico. Very excited to see what they do. How many Force Ghosts do you think we get?
1 billion.
All the Force Ghosts.
Every Jedi who has ever lived. We're going to do it Endgame style.
Portals just open up and just walk through. Yes, let's do it.
That would be epic.
No, I mean,
that would be terrible.
That would be terrible.
For Star Wars.
You just see Robert Downey Jr. walk through.
How many Force Ghosts? Definitely Luke.
Yep.
Maybe Yoda.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Anakin.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Ewan as Obi-Wan.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Beyond that, I don't really see any, actually. I think it's just kind of down to those 4 or 5. Definitely Luke, though. Kit Fisto, thank you. Comment, yes. Kit Fisto, Force Ghost, absolutely. I loved Kit Fisto when I was between 10,
right,
when I first saw Revenge of the Sith, and Attack of the Clones.
Yeah.
Because he was in that first. All the way until I don't know, 16 or whatever. I loved his character and his character design. He was awesome in the Clone Wars show.
Mm-hmm.
He fought General Grievous at one point, and that was amazing because I love General Grievous too.
Yeah.
Kit Fisto. Not really a character, but he was great.
Do it. And then the next,
so yes, bring him back.
So we're talking 4?
Bring back Plo Koon and Ki-Adi-Mundi and Luminara. I know all about this. I can do prequels lore for all day. And Shakti and maybe not all day. And Ayla Secura. You get all of these classic prequels Jedi.
Did you see what he put?
Back in the game.
He said same LOL. I was like, I like him because he's the water one.
Yes. Do you know what he looks like?
I think so. It's been a while. Yeah. Okay.
He looks like that.
Yeah.
Yes.
I remember him.
No, he was very cool.
Yeah. Bring him back. Bring them all back.
He tried to yodel. Yes. Oh man.
This is great. All the Force Ghosts in. So you do want all the Force Ghosts back?
What's her name? No.
No, but just the main ones. We just want the main ones back. We have
it
one.
Was Yaddle.
Who?
Yaddle. Yeah, the female Yoda from Phantom Menace.
Why do I not
Eth Koth. Yes.
Why do I not remember her?
No, there's a very good reason, actually. Is Yaddle Yoda's wife? Asked on Google.
Is it? Is she? Did they get hitched? Is a Jedi allowed to get married? Is the Catholic priests, are they allowed to get married?
Only if you're Ki-Adi-Mundi. Because Ki-Adi-Mundi was allowed to take many wives.
Oh, okay.
Just because of his species.
Yeah.
But technically no.
Mm-hmm.
Because they were Anakin and Padme have to have a reason to not be together. So it's the Jedi Order doesn't allow that. But then they have Ki-Adi-Mundi and they're well, this guy clearly...
Well, he has to.
This guy clearly attracts all the chicks.
All the ladies.
So we have to let him take several wives.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's Star Wars.
Oh, man.
Is there a whole page
what
dedicated
am I doing?
To this?
Yaddle was born around 509 years before the Battle of Yavin. Wow. That's crazy. Legacy.
My legacy.
Shortly after the Battle of Fortress Vader, Darth Vader entered a portal constructed by Lord Momin to resurrect his wife. While walking through visions, he encountered Yaddle along with many Jedi with their lightsabers ready to battle him. However, Vader defeated all of the illusions, impaling Yaddle through the chest. As the words "let the past die" resounded in his mind. Oh my god. That's so crazy.
No.
Even this character where they were like, hey, you guys know Yoda? We should make a girl Yoda. And she'll be a Jedi. She'll be on the Jedi Council.
Oh, Lord.
Got impaled through the chest by Darth Vader. That's so hardcore. That is so weird. Oh, there was some really weird story with like Jar Jar too. Where like all the Gungans like got wiped out. Hang on.
Poor Jar Jar.
Jar Jar.
Paper turners they were not.
Yeah, this is crazy.
Oh no.
What on earth? Oh, this is all okay. Clone Wars stuff. It's the blue shadow virus.
Nico said Darth Jar Jar.
Yeah. Jar Jar Binks was alive and well in 6.5 after the Battle of Yavin, and was present on Coruscant during its liberation from the Galactic Empire by troops of the New Republic.
He said, or are you talking about the... Hang on. He said, or are you talking about how he was ashamed, or how he was shunned and became a homeless clown after the original trilogy?
That's exactly what I was talking about. Yes. That's what I was thinking of. I was also thinking of some other story where like the Gungans got completely like genocide. Gungan genocide.
Poor Jar Jar.
Which of course makes,
Hashtag Jar Jar deserves better.
So apparently he's still alive, probably.
Oh, he's going to show back up.
He was at least alive during Return of the Jedi.
He will show back up. Watch.
During the time of the Galactic Civil War following the Battle of Yavin, a Twi'lek by the name of Volcana Silverlight remarked to a spacer in Theed that she had met Jar Jar and found him to be a bit annoying. Well, that makes sense. He is annoying. Oh, yeah, that was funny when he was at Padme's funeral.
Oh, no.
I don't know.
Poor Jar Jar.
I don't know. I don't know what to think.
You don't know what to think. Let's read one more comment. Okay. Gum said, my problem was that they didn't show any story beats. I just wanted a slight taste. Some people are like, any story details are spoilers.
Yeah, I don't think revealing a little bit of what the story is going to be is spoilers. Then again, I also kind of get it because this is a huge, huge moment in culture. Right. Just like with Endgame. Endgame didn't give away hardly any of what was happening.
Right.
Basically nothing. And that's another huge, huge moment in pop culture. So I see them wanting to keep basically the entire story under wraps. I personally wouldn't mind it. I understand why they're so like, oh, we're just going to show a few random things to get people in the theater.
Right.
But we don't want to give away anything that's happening. Yeah. Just because everybody wants to know what's happening. So.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that either.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's actually kind of a smart, campaign of marketing because now everyone has to go see even just like the little stuff.
Yeah.
Like even like the little story bits that could give away something. So I have no problem with them kind of holding back a little bit and holding out on some things. Let's see here. Nico also said Jedi Order sucks. I agreed with Luke. Gum said burn it down, master the sacred text.
Nice.
Nico said it's in the book Aftermath. The people of Naboo thought he worked with Palpatine. So
that's cool. I believe it. I believe it.
Palpatine?
He was just sent to irritate everybody. That was his role. Palpatine was like,
he wasn't that bad.
I want you to annoy the Republic.
I mean, he's just like a little brother. You know, they get on your last nerve, but you have to love them.
I don't know if I can say that. No, I don't have to.
You don't have to, and you don't have to love Jar Jar. Jar Jar was ridiculous. But yeah. Do you have any other thoughts though on the trailer itself, or what you're looking forward to the most in this movie?
Sorry, say that again. I was reading about Jar Jar.
We need to do an entire episode on Jar Jar.
Right.
The Jar Jar lore. What are you like? Do you have any other thoughts on the trailer or the movie itself, or what you're looking forward to, things like that?
No, not really. I think I've kind of talked it to death at this point, but I'm so excited. Yeah. And we're going to keep talking it to death as new information comes.
Yes, we are. And then when it comes out, we're going to talk it to death.
But this trailer was amazing.
Yes, it was.
Absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the rest of it, and I'm looking forward to see what comes from here.
Yeah.
Before we leave, before we head out, do we have anybody in the comment chat? Anybody in the chat would like to say one last thing or anything else about the Star Wars Rise of Skywalker movie, what you're looking forward to, things like that. He said, Nico said Rise of Binks. That's what it should have been called.
The clown, they called him. Bring in the clown. We want to see the clown. We like it how he juggles glombo shells or spits fish up in the air and catches them, or how he dances around and falls on his butt. The adults, though, they don't say much about him, or to him, and no other Gungans come to see him either. Nobody even says his name.
So he's like...
This is so sad.
So he's like...
He's like the Joker.
Yeah, but... not as good.
Yeah, the kids hit him with the sign and they're just kicking him in the alleyway. This is so sad.
Poor Jar Jar.
He was on the Republic. Like, he literally was in the middle talking to everybody in the Senate.
Yeah.
At one point, and now he is a clown and nobody even knows who he is.
Because people are bullies.
Right.
Blame the people.
That's what happens when the fans hate you and you exist in a fictional universe.
Careful, Rose.
I can't hate him.
You can't hate him. He's cute.
Right. I'm sure if I was like 5 years older, then I might hate him.
I remember showing this to like my younger nephews, and they're like, "Oh, Jar Jar's funny," and then like, just wait, just wait till you get older, you realize, oh, he was not funny at all.
Yeah. You're right. They didn't have to do him like that in the comments.
That's just
they kind of went a little bit too hard.
Let's see here. The Binks Awakens, The Last Binks, Revenge of the Binks.
I want to see a Jar Jar Binks dubbed Joker movie.
Only if a CGI Joaquin Phoenix plays him.
Yeah.
Only that way.
Misa used to think my life was a tragedy. Oh my gosh.
Oh no. Oh no, this is great. This is why we should be
Yusa gets what you deserve.
Who does he shoot?
The really big leader of the Gungans.
I feel like he would just shoot the people. Instead of like what Joker did, and just shoot the night show or the talk show, just go for the crowd.
Yeah.
Oh man, poor Jar Jar.
Beautiful.
I'm gonna send out a tweet hashtag Jar Jar deserves better. We're gonna get retweets and likes.
Not for me.
We're gonna get some hate. We're gonna get some hate. Jar Jar he did not deserve to be called a clown.
Yeah, literally just nobody remembers who he is. Nobody cares. He's just entertaining children on the street.
He's just doing his job, and
right.
People just are jerks to him.
Yeah,
it's not fair. That's how people go crazy.
Right.
We don't want
We
that.
saw this in a movie.
We did see this
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. Very good movie. Go check it out if you haven't seen it, even though we kind of spoiled it already a little bit. Sorry about that.
No, we didn't.
You'll be all right. You'll be fine. The Joker goes crazy. Ooh, who would have thought? But no, I think that will do it for this week's live stream. We appreciate you guys being here and joining us with us on YouTube and on Twitter. So make sure you go ahead and hit that follow button on Twitter. We follow us on Twitter at Dorks Next Door. Take out the E from next. Follow me on Twitter at I'm Andy York. You can follow Jason on Twitter at DNDJason. Go ahead and go on to our YouTube channel as well and hit subscribe to there. Like this video. Comment down below if you are watching this later. Go ahead and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on one of our videos or on one of our live streams. Next week, we should be back to play some Nintendo Switch games, I think next week is what we decided to do. So look forward to that. Plus, we're going to talk about a few other things as well. So be ready for that next week. But yeah, I think that will do it for this week's episode. We really appreciate everyone tuning in and joining us, and we'll catch you guys.